1. Hello, everybody. It is Rocco, you boy, coming at you again with another Age of Sigmar video. In this, what scares Age of Sigmar players series, we're going to be talking about what scares Sylvaneth players. I have a wonderful guest here. Say hello, Dan.
Hello, everybody. Great to be on with you, man.
Yeah, where are you from? What would people know you from?
Well, they probably know me from the Cubic Shenanigans Warhammer podcast.
Yep.
Brendan Milnick and I are the hosts of that show, and they probably know me. They've seen me at tournaments or whatever else.
Out in the Midwest.
But yeah, out in the Midwest and a couple of stretches to other places. But yeah,
Oh,
that would probably be the biggest thing. And the last year at ACOM, we ran Youngbloods.
yep.
Yeah, Doug from Two Plus Tough and I, so they might have known me for that as well. So
Yep. No, big person in the community. We had Brendan on before to do one of these about Soul Blight Gravelords, but this time
oh
we're talking about trees. You know, we
yep.
and I'm a fan of Sylvaneth. Back in the day, I was a Wood Elf player, and I
Mhm.
still have a bunch of my Dryads from there that I'm running now. And then we've got all the Tree Lords. We've got just so much excitement. I was a little sad because I was more on the Elven side than the Forest Spirit side, but this most recent book, I've come around. And Dan, you love the book as well.
I do really do. There's just so many different parts and pieces that are fun to try. And
Yeah.
being kind of a more of a mid-tier player, I don't really make lists to try to just bash
Mm-hmm.
to those top tables. I want to do something that's going to win, but I also want to do something that I think is going to be fun to try to see if it works or not. And I'm
Oh
willing
yeah.
to experiment like that. So
That's the best part. And that for me, that's how I've accidentally found tournament lists. Is that I'm like, oh yeah, I've got all this. It's like my box of misfit toys. Let me throw these parts together, and then it's like, oh wow, this actually works. This is a thing now. And
sure.
with Sylvaneth, there's just so much good about it between the different seasons that can give you different abilities. If you're near your
Mhm.
trees, to rerolls, to a ward save, to exploding hits on sixes, to the different glades where you can go magical, you can go stompy monsters, you can go Kurnoth heavy. That's not even all of them.
No, no.
What's your favorite part of this book? Let's just start out with something good here. Give me a baseline. What do you like?
I love all the ents, all the tree ant kind of things, all the big guys.
Yeah.
I've got what, five big guys now.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
I mean, I could have a really crazy list if I wanted to, but I really love that. I love painting them.
Oh,
I love playing them. Uh, the
yeah.
other thing I really like again is the different pieces like that you can try that you don't see normally on the table. I know before the show we were talking about goslings,
Yeah.
and I want to give them a try. You don't see them very often, but I think they're worth a shot, and I want to do that. I want to do something
Mm-hmm.
crazy with a big brick of dryads to
Yeah.
see what people are doing. And at first, when I saw them in the book, I'm going, oh, whatever. And then realizing how to play a brick of 20 of them and they're -1 to hit and wound, in range of
Yeah.
a tree, like, wow, they hang around a while.
Yes,
So
sir.
those are some of the things that I like uh, best, I think, in the book. I have yet to give Alarielle a try. I think if I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going to do like a one day or something,
Yeah.
I might give her a try. But I would at some point like to roll her out and just push her around the board.
Yeah. Now that you speak about it, I think I have that. She's the one thing I haven't tried yet. Now
Yeah.
that you mention it. And I agree on the Gossamids. You were saying before how with the GHB is about to change, and there's a good chance we lose the hero protection from shooting. And just like if you have 21 shots, sixes to hits or D3 mortal wounds, and you were saying the math was like you get four of them on average. If you
Mhm.
spike that roll, even if you just get the four, math in that said taking the average, that's a dead support hero
Yes.
right there.
Oh yeah.
That's you're at least doing four wounds. If not, one of those ends up being a
Yep.
three or a four. That's a that's a dead hero.
Yes. Yeah.
It's there. And then if you can just shoot that twice, maybe do a teleport from a wildwood to wildwood to get
Mhm.
one. So we got a correction in real time, folks. The range on the shooting on a Gossamer is 12. So definitely teleport them to where you need them to be.
Yes.
The plan
Yeah.
still works. You're still shooting a foot hero dead. You're still doing a lot of good mortal wounds in a batch of 10. And it's still really cool to have them then fly away on a 2-up after they've been charged. They unleash hell, and then they can move. So all right, so we've got some good things going on here for Sylvaneth, but this is the question. This is the point here. Brendan left me a little wanting with Soulblight because they're just so dang good. What scares
Yes.
a Sylvaneth player?
Okay. Number one, mortal wounds. When
Okay.
I see an army like hello Seraphon with the book, right? When
Yep.
I see an army that has just a plethora of mortal wounds, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do the best I can for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm done because
Yeah.
we have an award. You know, you can take the season that gives you a
Mm-hmm.
6-up ward, but
Yeah.
honestly, if you're doing 20 damage to my dryads and I make 4 saves or 5 saves on average, whatever, I
Yeah.
still lost 15 models, right? So, um, yeah, and I mean the only other ward we possibly have maybe
Mm-hmm.
is the one off Lady of Vine. So mortal wounds for me is a little concerning.
Yes.
And impact hits.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
another thing because that's where those mortal wounds come from.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing. Plus, the other thing, Rocco, is if you do impact hits, your Gossamids have to take those before they unleash hell because of the
Yes.
order of operations. So, ooh, man, those are just scary things
Yeah. I will
for me.
say, because recently I had played in a tournament where it was two Sylvaneth games in a row. My Stormcast Chariot came in very clutch, running over a unit of 5, and it was
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because then I just I got like a 10-inch charge, did 6 mortal wounds. 3 of them are dead. I'm a 12 wound chariot on a 4-up save. If you're not spiking mortal wounds on me, and I don't bracket,
right.
so that's definitely a really good way to think about that. Is a way to go at them and a fear to have. So what else? What else are we worried about? So it's mortal wounds and impact hits.
Yeah, I think turning off commands, and
Okay.
we got so many armies now that have that. I know there's at least 7 or 8 that I can
Mm-hmm.
think of right off. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're turning off, it's not just turning off inspiring presence, because obviously that affects things like our, dryads or
Oh sure.
spite revs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about turning off everything, like turning off, all out attack or all out defense, or you can turn off, uh, when you, what is it when you charge in? It was,
Like a
uh,
roar? Are we?
no, when you fire when somebody, unleash hell.
Oh
They
yes.
can turn off and
Yep.
unleash hell, right?
Oh yeah.
If
No,
you
the
have more
Bone
guests,
Reapers
all
have
those
that.
things get
Oh
turned
yes.
off. That is really scary to me
Mm.
when you can't use
All of
any
our
of those
cool
things that you
abilities
need,
there. Yeah.
or a Durthu who
Yep.
really needs the +1 to hit, +1 to wound.
Yes.
You know, he
Yes.
really needs those kind of things from commands, not the
Yeah.
+1 to wound, but the +1 attack.
Oh
And
sure.
yeah, so those things to me are a little scary when I
Let
see that.
alone +1 attack on the Kurnoth hunters
Yes,
from one of the Revenant heroes there.
yeah, the
That
arch rev, yep,
yeah,
uh huh,
that is just so massive on if you're going for like the sword build, fishing for those mortal wounds, getting that extra just
mm-hmm.
to be able to push through hordes and armor, or
Yep,
if you're going with the scythes, and then it gets you to be able to stand a chance into a horde when you're really made for armor, killing with the
sure,
Nick 3 Ren. I see it. I see it.
yep, yep. So
Okay.
that is another thing. The third thing that I've seen, and I think we all have, over the last however long, is this overabundance of CPs. When I see an army that's got, how many CPs do you have? You know, like how many this turn? And so you
Yeah.
can do this, and you can do that, and you can make yourself -1, +1 to your save. You can make yourself -1 to wound, -1 to hit, with your own command abilities
Oh
in your
sure.
book. And I'm going, well, okay, the Durthu with his 6 attacks, it doesn't really matter if I'm hitting on 4s and wounding on 4s. They're not going
Mm-hmm.
to get me through,
Yeah.
and so that is a little bit concerned. And I had firsthand experience because I played two OBR armies at my
Oh,
last tournament, and it was just like, what? And
yeah.
he just kept doing things. Just like, wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, you're just sitting there, you're like, wow, that is such a good book, man. When did
Yeah,
that happen? How'd that happen? It is just
right.
on a tear right now, in general, let alone it's really good into Sylvaneth.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, it really is.
And also, too, I want to throw in, because you mentioned it probably off camera, but I'll bring it up again.
Yeah.
What you said about like hero killing abilities, single model killing abilities, like
Mm-hmm.
Corgus Call, Archeon with his sword to just vert people into the sword. Because the heroes, again, like the Durthu being this killing machine is great, sure. But if at the end of the phase on like a 5-up, or if you roll 2 6s to wound and that your 350-point model is just gone,
Right.
after you save stacked, after you did all the whatever, you put
Mm-hmm.
on the +3 to charge, maybe you allied in
Yeah. Right.
something else, and you're like Mystic Shield, cool. Here's this. Here's the the frickin' city's hero, the wizard that can give another +2 to charge as an out. You put
Yes.
all this stuff on him, right? You just like, yeah, this is my. I'm gonna kill every. He's gone. What? What?
Yeah.
What? What?
I had a Tree Lord Ancient killed that way.
Ah.
It was like I thought I was going to get Corgus Call, and it
Uh
didn't
huh.
work out that way. And
Oh
I'm going,
no.
what does that axe do? It looks really big,
Uh huh.
but it's like, oh god,
He's appropriately modeled. That's
no.
for sure. It's a big old axe.
Crazy, man.
Oh man.
Crazy stuff.
Ah. So I'm a Wood Elf player here, looking to be a Sylvaneth player for real this time. And I
Sure.
like this March of the Ants build. What do I do in the face of such reckless abandon, Dave? What do I do?
Well,
Bring me back
well,
home
see,
here.
and let me just do one more thing,
Oh
and I'll tell
sure,
you
sure,
again
sure, sure.
my if that's all right with you.
Oh
The
please, we have
the,
plenty of
the
time.
whole thing about recursion, and I'm not talking about rally because
Okay.
everybody can do that. It's
Yeah.
when you can, I go in there and I kill 15 models in an army, a unit of 20,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden you just bring back 10 or 8 or 5 or however you bring back, the whole
Uh-huh.
soul light thing. You bring back half of what I just killed
Oh yeah.
30 somethings,
Yeah, I
and
killed
now
30 Graveguard. Here's 15. What are we
or
doing?
goblins.
Oh
Goblins
yeah.
bringing back squigs and bringing back
Mhm.
other stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man. So no matter how much punching power you have,
Mm.
like with a Durthu or something else, you can't do enough damage literally. Mathematically, you can't do it.
Yeah.
In order to overcome that mass of wounds. So,
Yeah. So I'm getting
right.
OBR, Soul Blight. Honestly, even it sounds like potentially Flesh Eater Courts if they get all their returning their ghouls and stuff. Sure, they're wearing
Mm-hmm.
their 6-up ward save functionally, because any rend will torch them. But if you run into something that's too wounds dense or just has the hordes to heal back up,
Mm-hmm.
that's the sticking point in the
Yeah.
for the tree people here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's doom and gloom. Nagash is ascendant. All right.
Yeah.
How do we win this war for life here, Dan? What are we
Okay,
doing?
man. I think I'm very torn about the Tree Lord Ancient and including him in a list because every one of
Okay.
my lists so far I've had him because I love being able to drop that tree anywhere.
It's really
And
nice.
it's really cool. It actually paid off. I was playing a Trog list
Mm-hmm.
and I literally dropped the tree next to his
The
spike,
shrine. Okay.
his shrine,
Yeah.
and I killed the shrine with Durthu and I got into Scragrod. I got into
Oh.
everything, right? So that
Oh.
was just amazing. And I never could have done that if I couldn't have dropped that tree. And I've
Yeah.
also had a couple of other games where that has made such a difference being able to put it anywhere. But you're also paying 300 some points for that.
True.
So, but that just gives you so much flexibility. I love the fact that, you know, with the changes, you've got overgrown terrain as well, and you automatically
Yes.
have three of those.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have to put anything out on the board, right?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so you get that added flexibility. I think what's really good is the fact that you have the ability to get trees on the board as much as you really want to, especially if you choose to take um, a uh, a build where you can re-roll, or if you take Narwood, you
Oh
can get that
sure.
the 3 dice, so that
Yeah.
you can take that Verdant Blessing, and then with like a Revenant being able to cast through the trees, you
Yeah.
could just like boom, boom, boom. You could have
Become the
4 or 5
Lorax, Dave.
trees right all
Yeah.
over the board, and so your opponent's going to be going, "Oh God, where the hell is that guy coming out?" Right? So I think that's really cool, and
Yeah.
it's just doing it the right way. You know how that is. You
Yeah.
have to get those combinations off. Um, that's really fun and really a great. And I love that kind of mobility with my Nighthawk. I always
Mm-hmm.
love being able to drop stuff in or move stuff around or teleport. Um,
Oh sure.
and it reminds me of the old Wood Elves had a couple of units that could do that, right?
Yep.
And it
Yep.
makes me think about that. Um,
Yeah, they
so
really nailed the ambushing mechanic in this. I feel being able to pop up if like your trees just grow up like, oh, I wasn't there before. Then like, oh,
right,
the tree's talking to me. Whoa, there's a bunch of spirits. It's got a sword.
yeah,
You know, and then they strike and fade away, and they go back into
that
the tree. They pop somewhere. Like they nailed that from a lore perspective into a functional ability. And I love this book.
yes, yes,
There's plenty
I
of
agree.
play. Do not feel doom and gloom. We're just being realists in this series.
Right,
You know, watch out for mortal wounds. Watch out for a lot of these undead armies that have abilities to regenerate their troops, that have ways to turn off your command abilities. Watch out for hero killing attacks.
yeah,
What,
yes.
what was the last one?
Oh, the overabundance of CPs where you're just flooded with an
Yeah.
army that can do like it can just super buff
Super
itself
buff and
in
debuff
so many
you.
ways.
So you
Debuff,
have to
right?
be careful too on like targeting the appropriate heroes and things as well with that. And again,
Yes.
hopefully, with these the flying shooters here that remind I want to say Warhawk Riders every time because that's kind of the niche they filled. Because the Gossamed Archers, I want to say Warhawks. I do. I'm not ashamed. I love Wood
We know
Elves.
what you mean, my friend. We
Yeah,
know what you mean.
yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. But if again, what we're thinking with the new General's Handbook that just got put up for it's get going on pre-order next week. That
I'm
was
not
the
sure. Yeah, I can't
yeah.
remember.
It was in the preview article for this Sunday as of
Okay.
recording. This will come out on a Wednesday. Um, so the upcoming General's Handbook, if they do get rid of the hero protection from shooting,
Yes.
we've got something cooking here. All right, listen,
Yes.
no one's
Yeah.
making paper out of our Durthu.
No.
Okay, we're gonna we're gonna pulp
There
them
you go.
instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, when the city's guys come around, like, hey, what's that book made of? Man flesh, leather,
Yeah.
and then we'll have a
Good
great
stuff.
time.
Yeah. There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, Dan?
No, just I'm still excited to be playing them. I kind of made a commitment to
Okay.
play them through all my tournaments this year
All right.
because I still have this weird connection with the Vampers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the whole Soul Blight thing. Because for
Yeah.
me, forever that was a real goal to see that army come out.
Oh
But
sure.
I just want to try different things. I think as Sylvaneth players, you shouldn't be afraid if you're not a top table player
Mm-hmm.
to try different stuff and don't worry about what's said online or worry about what people say isn't any good.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, what's the worst thing that can happen? It didn't work out for you and you have some beautiful models on your shelf,
Yeah, and
right?
then you just change your sub faction and try something. Like it's
It's
so
exactly.
interchangeable. It's so
Yes.
modifiable between the seasons, the
Yes.
sub factions. Just putting in a slightly different hero. That like, do I want an unrendable Durthu? Do I want the Spellsinger, Warsong Revenant to pop spells out of a tree? I don't need
Yes.
spell portals anymore, so I can just do
Right.
that. I bring the
Yep.
ancient to pop out a tree anywhere I want, and then all of a sudden I'm casting through a tree my mortal wound bomb spell.
Yes.
There's
Yep.
there's play, man. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Agree.
it's exciting. It is.
It is.
Ah, well, thank you so much. And again, Cubic
Sure, buddy.
Shenanigans is the podcast. Love them. Love you. Love Brendan. Love all the stuff you do as a tournament organizer. What you did at ACO. Not ACO. I'm sorry, Adepticon. I've got ACO on the brain because that just happened. Uh, with you and with Doug. Because I went to Adepticon. I went to that Adepticon.
Yeah.
I did the teams there. I didn't get to see you. I was very sad. Brendan kept pointing you out all the time. I'm like, cool, I can go. Teams! I'm like, okay, I'll go see Dan later. I'll go say hi. I'll go teams. Dang it, Pants
Passing in
Mafia.
the night, man. That's what it was.
It was.
So.
It
All good. This is
100%
great.
was. Yeah. We get pleasure having you on the show. Like, we should do some more stuff. I don't know.
Hey, anytime you let me know.
If you want me on your show too, Lord knows. I know Brendan. I've known him way too long. We've done Blood Bowl stuff together. We've co-casted stuff for Meth for when he had the league. You've been on the charity thing that I've helped organize with the Rantathon.
Oh yeah,
we have been so interconnected. This is so nice to finally be able to sit down and talk to you. Thank you so much.
Great, no problem, man. Take care.
You too. Bye, everybody. Let's say at the end of all of our videos, be nice, roll some dice, try new things too. Like we're saying, there's so many builds you could do. Bye.